ni sender na na-receive ni receiver ang message. Letter A, why did you use the client's name on your clinical worksheet? Letter B, you were very careless to refer to your client by the name on your clinical worksheet. Letter C, surely you did not do this deliberately, but you breached confidentiality by using the client's name. It is disappointing that after being told you're still using client's name on your worksheet. Ang sagot po dyan is letter C.
Ay, mali.
Kasi ibig sabihin nun, sabi dito, surely you did not do this deliberately. Parang sinabi niya kasi, meron siyang ginawa na hindi niya talaga ginawa. So, bumalik sa sender kasi, but you breached confidentiality by using the client's name. Ibig sabihin, meron pa rin siyang ginawa na dapat hindi ginawa. Okay, so letter C yan. Number 2, number 17 po. Dire-diretso lang yan, ha? What is the purpose of a caregiver providing appropriate feedback? So, nasa feedback pa rin po tayo sa communication. So, sabi natin, ang pinaka-main purpose ng feedback is to give the client information. Ibig sabihin, kung na-receive ba ni receiver ang message from the sender, magbibigay siya back ng receiver. Okay? Sa sender. So, dito, ang sagot, letter D. Correct. So, to give the client critical information. Number 3, a caregiver is learning about the appropriate use of touch. When communicating with client diagnosed with psychiatric disorder, which statement by the caregiver best describe information about this aspect of therapeutic communication? So, we have discussed therapeutic communication. Ang therapeutic communication po is an approach by a person using a therapeutic approach, which is one is touch. Kasi alam nyo, pag merong, kunyari, depressed ang pasyente mo, makakapag-communicate ka, minsan pag hinahapos mo lang siya rito, that's already a communication. Iba-iba ang types ng touch. Naalala nyo? Meron tayong professional touch, which is yung doctor, nurses, caregiver. Ibig sabihin, hinahawakan natin ng pasyente, wala siyang mali siyang involved. Pero we are trying to deliver a care sa ating pasyente. That's touch. Meron din tayong tinatawag na friendship touch. Yung mga magkakaibigan na wala pakialam kasi it's all about friendship. Meron din tayong tinatawag na yung love touch. Yung magjowa, yung mag-asawa, di ba? Nag-aawa ka yan. Wala rin intention yan. Pero their main intention is, alam nyo na yan, that's love or sex or whatever. Meron din tayong tinatawag na, ano yung pang-apat natin? Sa touch, which is friendship touch. No, yung nag-holding yan, yung nagkakamay, yung mga ganyan. So that are different touches. That is communication. Ibig sabihin, pag hinawakan mo ang pasyente mo, and that is you're trying to communicate with your client, that you try to empathize o nakikisimpathize ka sa pasyente. Okay? Dumadamay ka, ibig sabihin. Now, with this kind of things, ang tinatanong dito is psychiatric. Pag sinabing psychiatric na pasyente, sira ulo. So, ibig sabihin, pag sira ulo ang pasyente mo, hindi mo siya pwedeng hawakan kasi iba ang ibig sabihin ng sira ulo. Sa normal person, pag hinawakan ko si ate, ibig sabihin, nakikiramay ako kasi nakita ko may problema siya. Sa isang sira ulo, pag hinawakan mo siya, iba ang ibig sabihin ng sa kanya. Kasi nga wala sa sarili. Pwede hinawakan ko siya, sasabihin niya, gusto mo ako, no? Hinawakan ko siya, bakit mo ko hinawakan? Papatayin mo ako, no? Yung mga ganun. So, different interpretation by a patient ang side. So, anong sagot dyan? D. So, sabi dito, touch carries a different meaning for different individuals. Touch is often used when de-escalating volatile client situation. Touch is used to convey interest and warmth. Touch is best combined with empathy when dealing with anxious client.
D.
Oh, anong ibig sabihin ng D? Touch is best defined with empathy with anxious client. Pag sinabi kasing empathy, you're trying to put yourself on that situation. Pero anxious ang pasyente. So, ibig sabihin, hindi. Nagka-conflict siya. Ang ibig sabihin nito, tatandaan nyo, each individual have different perception of touch. Kahit na anong pasyente, kahit na ikaw isang hindi man pasyente, may iba-iba ang ibig sabihin natin ng touch. Okay? So letter A yan. So touch carries different meaning to different individuals. Kasi ang hawak ko sa kanya,
Mali.
pwede niya ma-interpret na nakikiramay ako. Pero ang touch ko sa iyo, hindi mo sasabihin nakikiramay, siguro gusto ako ni Sir. Mga ganyan. So different person, different perception. Okay? And that is communication. Next. Which of the following individuals are communicating a message? Select all that apply. Ibig sabihin, alin dito sa mga sumusunod ang nagko-convey ng message? So, ibig sabihin, from a sender to a receiver, may message na pinapadala. Letter A, a mother speaking her son for playing with matches. Communication ba yan?
Yes.
Okay, so A, correct yan. Letter B, a teenage boy isolating himself and playing loud music.
No.
Communication.
Hmm?
No.
Okay, titingnan natin. Letter C, a biker sporting an angle tattoo on his bicep.
Yes. Able that's all. English license. No.
Okay, sige. Letter D, a teenage girl writing, "No one understands me." Is it communication?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so that is writing. Letter E, a father checking for a new email on a regular basis.
Yes. Communication.
Okay, o isa-isa natin. A mother, so sabi natin, when we talk about communication, there should always be a feedback. Okay? Number one, a mother spanking her son for playing with matches. Ibig sabihin, may ginawa si bata, kaya pinalo ni nanay. So there is a response, tama?
Yes.
So that is communication. Letter B, a teenage boy isolating himself and playing loud music.
Wala. Loud music lang.
Hmm?
Yes.
Meron pa rin communication.
Yes.
Yes. Kasi inaasik na niya yung sarili niya. Ibig sabihin, kino-communicate niya na gusto niya mag-isa. Di ba? So there is communication.
Yes.
Letter C, a biker sporting an angle tattoo on his bicep. Yes, kasi nagpapatato siya dito, which is a sign of communication. Ibig sabihin, doon niya nire-reflect yung gusto niya masabi. Naintindihan? So yes yan. Letter D, teenage girl writing, sabi natin yes. Itong letter E, tingnan niya, yung titingnan niya. A father checking for new email on a regular basis. Communication ba yan?
Yes.
Yes.
No! Wala naman siyang nag-check lang siya. It's not communication. Pag nag-reply siya sa email, that's communication. Ibig sabihin, nag-block ang sabi lang dito, a father checking for a new email on a regular basis. Nag-check ka lang, communication ba yun? Wala kang reply. Nakukuha nyo? So you're trying to block communication. Wala kang, nag-check ka lang. Pag nag-check ka ba, nakikipag-communicate ka? Unless you respond to the email. Doon nagiging communication. So letter B.
Ako ulo ako.
O dapat
Zero.
Number 5. The sequence of the communication process. So ito dapat alam nyo ito ha. Anong sequence?
Sender and feedback.
Letter D, very good. So you start with the sender. Sender will forward a message. A message will be received by the receiver, and receiver has to give feedback to the sender, and that is the process. Next,
Anong answer, sir?
dog.
Oh, naka-perfect.
Dapat naman kasi nakuha niya yan. Number 6. There are 3 types of communication according to the style. Aggressive, passive, and assertive style. Aggressive style focus on?
Wala.
Kasi na-discuss ko yan.
Others and self?
Sir, meron kayo yan, di ba?
Wala.
Wala, sir.
Wala kami.
Sige, okay na. Kasi na muna. System, the average length of stay for clients who have Medicare health insurance is 2 days shorter than the clients with private insurance. This issue has been referred to the Ethics Committee of the hospital, A nurse representative on this committee makes which statement to identify the best ethical principle that might be applied to this case. Ang letter A po dito is an example of beneficence. Okay? Your letter B po dito is an example of veracity. Letter C is an example of fidelity. Ang sagot po rito is letter D. Yes.
Some clients not aware.
Okay? So that is your justice. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya fair. 15, it is discovered that a nursing assistant has been adding charges to client's bill for services that were never rendered. When this matter is referred to the hospital ethics committee, the nurse representative considers that which ethical principle may be issued at this case. Select all that apply. Ano po ang pwede? O, ibig sabihin, yung ating concerned nursing assistant, nagdadagdag siya ng mga charges na hindi naman kasali sa mga bill. So, anong dapat dyan? Is that justice? Involved ba ang justice?
Yes, sir.
Oo, kasi wala siyang justice, naglalagay siya ng hindi naman. Is there beneficence?
Yes, sir.
Wala. To do good ang definition, di ba? Pag ikaw ba ay nagawa ng mga charges na hindi kasama sa bill, is that doing good to your client? Hindi. Letter C, veracity. Ano yung veracity? Telling the truth. Nagsasabi ba ng totoo yung caregiver? Hindi. So, kasama ang number 3. Number 4, fidelity. Fidelity is loyalty. May involved ang loyalty dito?
Meron, sir.
Wala. Anong loyalty doon?
Nakati ko na siya.
Anong loyalty doon sa pasyente? Hindi. Wala yan. And then yung number 5 is non-maleficence. Wala rin. The answer dito is... Sorry. Fidelity, yes. Kasama ang fidelity kasi hindi siya, di ba?
Yeah,
That's
loyalty
all.
kasi, sir, eh.
Correct, tama yan. So the answer dito is letter C.
1-3. Mali.
O yung sa inyo,
28.
28. A client who is terminally ill with cancer has a choice of 3 treatment options. The caregiver decides the client will benefit from one option and leaves the client out of the decision-making process. The staff nurse on the unit considers whether to contact the ethics committee after concluding that the caregiver has breached which ethical principle. Ano sagot dyan? Autonomy. Ang sagot dyan, that is your independence. Ito, client 29 nyo, ayan yung pareho ng 14 nila. Ay, ito pala.
Iba, sir.
A client who has right hemiparesis calls for assistance. Ang right hemiparesis po is right-sided paralysis. To go to the bathroom, the nursing assistant who answers the call bell completes a few additional tasks on the way to the client's room. The client becomes impatient, attempts to go to the bathroom and falls. Upon learning of the incident, the nurse uses which statement to discuss the appropriate ethical principle with the nursing assistant?
Yan naman ang pala.
Letter, wala na po kayo yan, sila naman. Letter A po dyan is your veracity. Letter B po dyan is your respect. Letter C po ang sagot. And letter D is an example of your fidelity. 30, nursing assistant seeking to uphold which ethical principle will allow a client who has residual deficit from a stroke to complete as much as the bath as possible while remaining at the bedside to provide assistance when needed is autonomy. Letter C ang sagot.
Puro siya. Sama tayo.
Doon tayo sa true or false. Pareho lang kayo ng true or false. Hindi pala kayo pareho. Number 1 sa set A.
B.
Set A,
Set A1.
O, set A muna tayo. Number 16 kaya, di ba? O, yun, follow muna sa set A tayo. Working in a long-term care setting is a very challenging but not that rewarding. True or false?
False.
Bakit naging false?
Kasi ang ano sir, challenging siya pero rewarding.
Very good. So that false yan. So that is, in working in a care health settings, pareho siyang rewarding at the same time challenging. So 16 is false. 17, a home care person is called a patient.
Yes.
False.
True.
False.
Home care.
Home care.
Home care is
Person.
aid.
Patient.
No, hindi din.
Ulit nga sa tanong.
Home
At
care.
home health care person is called a patient.
True. No, false. True.
False. Bakit false?
Kasi dapat ang home care health person sir is siya ang caregiver.
Oo, hindi.
Tapos ang patient, ano tawag niya, dapat siya ang home health aid sir. Hindi din?
Mali.
Mali.
It's false.
Yeah.
Kasi pag hospital setup tayo, ang tawag natin sa ating mga kliyente is patient. Pag nasa bahay ka, hindi na pasyente ang tawag mo, but client. Okay? Di ba sinabi ko yan? Pag hospital setup ka, patient. Pag home base ka, client ang tawag. Okay?
Tapos,
Kaya
kung
false ang
patient,
sagot.
Wala kang patience, ikaw magiging pasyente.
Oo.
Hindi mo marami pa sa bahay.
Oo, client ang tawag siya.
Ito na na-apply sa rin TLC, di ba?
Kasi sa hospital, doon ngayon kasi ang term ng patient is, pag sinabi mo kasi patient, may sakit lang. Di ba? Samantalang pag sinabi mo client, either may sakit o walang sakit. Generalize. So, di ba? Ang care natin, pag nasa hospital ka, ibig sabihin, may sakit ang pasyente. Di ba? So, client, patient talagang tawag dyan. Now, ngayon kasi interns, lalo na pag nasa community o nasa mga bahay, hindi ka lang magdi-deal sa may sakit. Pwedeng the whole, pwede mo rin siyang i-treat na wala siyang sakit at may sakit. Kaya kliyente ang tawag. Okay? Next. A home health care agency may also provide services for a person who cannot manage some tasks dependently.
True.
False. Ang sagot dyan po is, di ba sabi nga nila, bakit ka mag-care, bakit ka magbibigay ng service o bakit ka hire ng sa bahay kung nakakagawa naman ng pasyente? Dapat, independently yan. Ang sagot dyan, instead of dependently, independently. 19, caregivers who work in home care agencies are usually called home health aid.
True.
Correct, that's true. Pareho lang po yan. The length of stay in a acute care setting is long due to the fact that the patient is an example thoroughly.
Patient examine thoroughly. True.
Yes, sir.
False. Short lang po yan, hindi siya long. Okay? So patient thoroughly, patient that's short. Okay?
Sir, yung total yung short parang sa caregiver lang.
All.
So false yan. Okay? O doon naman tayo sa kabila. So true or false, number 1. Para makasunod kayo. The most common type of acute care setting is the hospital. True. Yan po ang acute care setting natin. Number 2, being able to make decisions and do things for oneself is important for maintaining a sense of dignity and self-worth. True. Number 3, short-term care setting. The patient receives assistance meeting their medical, personal, and social needs over a relatively term care setting is
True.
false. Bakit?
Saan
Hindi
yan,
po
sir?
siya
Wala
short
ako.
term. Ha?
Wala ako niyan.
Oh, kasi po tapos na po tayo dun sa inyo. Ibang set na po ito.
Okay.
Hindi nakikinig si ate. Sabi ko, set B na tayo, set A kayo. Natapos ko na yung sa inyo. Okay? OSEB B tayo. So, hindi siya short-term course setting, but this is long period. Ha? Next, for nurses and not the
Ano to?
Ayan, tapos na ang aming
Sa module
exam.
na tayo mag-ano ngayon?
So, ayan ay mga classmate ko.
Nagbibigay siya ng nagbibigay siya ng summarize.
Nagagayain. Ayun, ito mo. Ano.
Ethical principle
So,
sa
hindi tayo
module
nakasagot
one
ng
tayo.
maayos kasi absent tayo nung last week. So, ayan na guys. See you next time.
Ito yung ano niya.